India, 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 India. Yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm so happy that India is in the finals, and hence I have ditched my white kurta and I am in the India colors, India jersey, because I'm feeling very, very happy about the fact that we've made it through to yet another final. And hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed, we get through to the last one as well. But how about the England match? It was indeed a very, very exciting match. It was such a heart throbbing one. It had so many moods to it. And of all the things that happened, I think the most exciting thing that I thought was the amount of run scoring that we witnessed. It was unreal. It was as if it just no bowler could be good enough, of course, barring Bumrah, who could really stop the English or even the Indian batsmen. Both of them were going all guns blazing. So it was a fantastic match. And yeah, thanks to some of you who've started going through my videos. And one of you, I remember one of my friends, Dawal, messaged me after seeing Sanju's knock that Nishit, another salute is loading. So I said, yes, indeed. So salute to Sanju. And this time around, the salute doesn't stop here, because the salute also goes to Hardik, and it also should go to Bumrah, and it also, of course, should go to the champion fielder in Akshar Patel. But yeah, so these were the main things, of course, main people who were the architects of our victory. And these were the people who actually got us through to the final. So, barring that, let's see what all good things happened. 253, I was messaging some of you, and I mentioned that we are three above par. And some of you ridiculed me. Ki, what are you saying? 253 and you are saying three above par. So, was 250 the par score? And this was just before the English innings was starting. I said, yes, I feel that we are only three better than what we should have been as a par on this wicket. So I don't know how, not that I'm a master at reading pitches, or even I don't even know how to read them, but yeah, I somehow had this feeling that it wouldn't be as easy as a lot of us thought. So some of us thought that it is way more than enough. And after the first three wickets fell, some of us started partying that, oh yeah, it's all sorted, done and dusted. But yeah, that wasn't to be. And what an exciting match. So yes, 253 was fantastic. The great thing was that everybody in the batting lineup, barring one or two, scored very, very well. At a very high strike rate, at something that the team needs. And despite nobody scoring 100, like Jacob Bethel did score for England, we could still score 253. And that's the template that Gautam Gambhir likes, and that's the template that he's managed to make it real for us. So kudos to him. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of him, but I think what he's done right is worthy of appreciation. So yeah, everybody doing well was a very nice and good sign. But what led to victory? Of course, I'm not referring to Indian players right now, but thanks to England in a way. Of course, they bowled rubbish, but besides that, it was actually Harry Brooks' miss of Sanju Samson. He dropped the catch of Sanju, and later Tom Benton dropped the catch of Hardik Pandya, which is something that I felt these were the two key moments in the match. Had these things not gone our way, then it would have been a different thing. Yeah, some may argue that Sanju must have got out, and maybe Shivam would have scored a 80, 90, or Hardik would have. Yeah, ifs and buts are there, but I feel that the momentum definitely could have slowed down, and that might have made a difference. Even Hardik's catch had been taken at the boundary by Tom Banton. Maybe our runs would have been 5-7 less, and that was enough, as we saw. Well, anyways, good things are good. Thanks to English players that they dropped those two catches, something that we've been doing constantly. But wow, what a pleasant surprise. We didn't drop any catches. And in fact, some of the finest catches taken in this tournament were taken by India, stroke Akshar Patel. So I would still not feel that India has improved in this area of bad catching and a little bit of average fielding. because largely the architect of those catches not dropped were going to only one person. Akshar Patel took three catches. So, and two of them were outstanding, which one and all are praising. So, barring that, Tilak took a very good catch at the boundary. Again, something that he dropped a catch in the previous match against West Indies because he was too much inside the boundary ropes, which ideally, had he been on the boundary rope the way he was in the England game, hence he could take a catch of Sam Curran, who at that point in time was looking like a key wicket because Sam Curran and Jacob Bethel both were going all guns blazing. So I think it was all in all a nice thing to have not dropped any catches. And of course, Hardik also got us a brilliant run out of Jacob Bethel. So overall, I think it was a fantastic game in that regard also. And besides the catching, I think one little area that we could have done better was, of course, bowling. Right. So it's something that we cannot be very proud of. That despite scoring 253 kind of a score, we were still sort of at the hands of English batters, and we were still hoping that they wouldn't get it. So that's something that we should analyze now. So now let's look at the top three things that happened in the match. A lot of people believe that it was Bumrah's genius which got us the match, but I have a very different take on this. I feel the top number one player for us last match was Hardik Pandya, and of course, I personally speaking, I like Bumrah better than Hardik, but being very objective, Hardik Pandya actually scored a fantastic 27 of, I think, 12 or 14 balls, which was outstanding at that stage. And besides that, he got us a very crucial run out, okay, of Jacob Bethel. Because had that run out not happened, again, Jacob was, as we all know, already past 100 and could have been a big threat to us. And I was feeling as if in the last over when 30 runs were needed, maybe he could have hit 5 sixes. So that was very crucial that Hardik did. So another plus besides his batting. And in batting, actually, the way he played that uppercut of Jamie Overton, oh my God, that was to die for. He just stood there still, very, very agile, active mind. At the very last microsecond, he chose to just play that uppercut and get a boundary. Outstanding. And then the way he was hitting those sixes to Will Jacks, who otherwise has been their key bowler, was outstanding. So I think a lot of credit to Hardik, and the way he's able to hit those balls which are absolutely outside the off stump. People are targeting that wide line Yorkers and wide line full deliveries. But this fellow somehow dances, jumps, and but manages to hit them, smash them for sixes and fours. So I think Hardik, clearly his batting was amazing. That it has been for a while now, and his fielding to get that crucial run out, and most importantly, I don't know how many of us saw, but in 4 overs, Bumrah gave away 33 runs and took one wicket, which was very crucial of Brook. But Hardik gave away 38 runs in 4 overs and took two wickets. And imagine that over that we all know. Immediately after Bumrah, of course, Bumrah did a fab job. But after that, to bowl another over to get Sam Curran out, penultimate over of the match, and besides getting Sam Curran out, giving away only 9 runs. And do not forget that he gave a sixer on the first ball, right? And that also, had it been slightly off by a few centimeters, Akshar would have caught it at the boundary. Again of Sam Curran, right? So he got a sixer, gave away sixer on the first ball, but then gave away only 3 more runs in the balance 5 balls, which is not at all easy the way Jacob Bethel and English batsmen were going. So I think that was amazing over that he bowled. An overall tally of 38 runs in 4 overs is outstanding. A run rate of 9 per over when the whole match, both innings, was at 12.5 per over. So clearly, 3 better than that is outstanding in my books, because it's about 30% better than anybody else did. So Hardik Pandya, in my mind, is the number one takeaway from last game. Who next? Bumrah, of course. Genius of a guy. Yeah, like everybody keeps saying this, that is a once in a generation bowler. These days, even the opposition have started saying that. Harry Brook, in the press conference after the match, said that he is one of the greatest of all times. So such is the weapon we have, and I am sad about that aspect, that despite having a Bumrah like bowler, how could we let English score 250 odd runs? That's something that we will of course talk about on way forward, and the areas we didn't do well. But of course, in the top two, Bumrah clearly is there, and I don't need to say much because all of you know and all of us know. Number three, very very critical, is the contributions of Ishan Kishan and Shivam Dubey. Both of them are batting selflessly, not trying to go for the 50 or 100, constantly firing in, constantly giving us a 200 plus strike rate. And barring that, the last few matches, even Tilak Verma has started doing that. Like, he came in last match, in 7 balls, he scored 21 runs, so which is a 300 strike rate. He hit 3 sixes, if I'm not wrong, in those 21. So such is the consistent batting display from these players, which I would like to put it as the third top thing that happened to us and has happened during this World Cup campaign. Right, and of course Arshdeep is good, we all know it, and something that we are happy to have an able ally with Bumrah, to have Arshdeep also bowling amazing left arm swing, and the way he was swinging those Yorkers, he was getting reverse swing, and hence that dip and last second swing inside the batter. Even Jacob Bethel could not do much despite his brilliance of batting. So that's something that was very good. So a lot of positives clearly, and a happy match at the end of the day, since we were on the winning side. But let's look at what are the areas we didn't do well. So of course, Abhishek Sharma. Now imagine he is the number one T20 batter today. Yeah, despite that, he is not been able to perform. And yeah, everybody can have their off days. Everybody has a right to kind of not be in form. But yeah, this is extending bit too much. And I feel that he was going just fine. He had faced Will Jacks, who is his nemesis in a way, because that's off spin again, which he is getting out quite regularly. But what happened was that he hit a boundary of Will Jack's first ball, then 2 3 dot balls, I guess, and then he hit another boundary. So I thought that was good enough. There was no need to play yet another aggressive shot in that over, because he knows that that's not a type of bowling that suits his batting as of today, unless he practices and gets better. So he got smashed yet again because he got caught in the deep trying to hit yet another sixer. So I think clearly amongst our weakness today, Abhishek unfortunately features in there. I feel that we can possibly give him yet another chance, because he's a fab guy, and if he gets going in the final and performs the best that we want him to perform, then I think the opposition is done with. But the second area that we could not do well, or the second player that is a big weakness now suddenly, is the number one T20 bowler as of now in the world, Varun Chakravarti. He is of course number one getting into the tournament, and he looked like a very very strong weapon we had besides Bumrah. So imagine a Bumrah and a Varun, 8 overs, people are not able to smash them. How many can they get in the balance 12? Assuming that they get about, let's say, between those 8 overs, they get about 60 odd. Yeah. Then the remaining 12 overs, they'll have to literally score at a 10 and over, score 120 runs, and despite that they'll be only at 180, right, which these days on these pitches 200 has become a must, and with our kind of batting lineup. So I think we walked in with a great reputation, great power, but Varun has completely lost his confidence, clearly, as it is visible in the matches. And besides that, what is happening is that Varun is getting smashed by every team now. So it's not that a few batters have managed to unravel his mystery, but everybody is coming in and smashing him. So this has got to do with his own mindset. He himself mentally is, I think, feeling very low. And like I had mentioned in my previous video, that he should not be bowling too short, but he has been doing that. And the batsmen have now picked this, and they are now smashing him, staying on the back foot. So they are not at all coming onto the front foot, which typically happens while you play a spinner. So that's something that has been a big weakness of ours in the entire almost World Cup, and that continues to be even in English. He gave away 64 runs in 4 overs. That's at the rate 16 runs per over. So that literally wiped off all the good things Bumrah did, Hardik did, right? And hence the match ended up being so close despite our dominating score. So that's clearly an area that we'll have to think about something. And a little bit about Surya's form. He's not done well since the USA match, so that's something that clearly we can make do if he comes back in form. But yeah, a little bit of concern. He also misfielded during the English match and even in the West Indies match, and both the misfieldings went for a boundary. So a little bit that we need to work on, but otherwise things are okay. He's a great captain and a great leader, so I think that's fine. But yeah, as a better, we want him to come to the party in the last match for sure, just like Abhishek. While of course, assuming all others will continue to fire. Yeah, now let's look at the way forward. Now the big final, and where is it happening? It's happening in Ahmedabad. It's happening in my city, and I'm very happy about it. But the very unhappy aspect of it is that Ahmedabad and the Narendra Modi Stadium has not been a happy hunting ground for us. So it's been a ground where we have lost quite a few matches. Just to recall the ODI World Cup final that we could not manage to win. Just to recall a very recent match against South Africa. That's the only match we've lost in this tournament, and that also happened to be at Ahmedabad. So that's another thing. So I am a wee bit scared that what will happen in this final. Is this sort of non-favorable ground? I don't believe in superstition and all, but something at the Narendra Modi Stadium that's not working well for Team India. And I really hope, and I keep my fingers crossed, that it doesn't really follow as a pattern, and I really hope we don't goof up on the last and most important stage. So now that it is in Ahmedabad, and now that we know that it's a bigger ground than the 1K day was, so which means that our spinners will come into play. And we have a champion in Akshar Patel, who's a fabulous asset to have on fielding, on bowling, of course, if needed in batting as well. So I think most bases are covered for us. But now I will tell you something very shocking, and that's my view. I feel that we should drop Varun Chakravarti. Yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah, we should drop him because his mindset is just not right. It's not about backing a player who is not in form. Abhishek also is not in form. His confidence has taken a dent, but he doesn't look clueless. But Varun does look clueless. If you observe his body language, if you observe the way he's bowling, there is no plan B. If he gets smashed, he gets smashed. He is unable to recover at all. He is just hoping and waiting thereafter that somebody will get out, like Joss Butler got out. Of course, it was a good delivery, but barring that, he did not have much in the remaining 23 odd balls that he had bowled. So this is where I feel that Varun, because he's so low on confidence and because it's a final, we cannot afford to stumble anymore. My take would be to drop Varun Chakravarti, get in Washington Sundar, who will bowl the off spin, which will of course add variety because we don't have an off spinner in the current lineup. So getting that off spin, and plus we will then have batting at number 9. So batting at number 9 will mean that we can face New Zealand with great confidence. So if we get to bat first, we can go literally hell for leather and try and post yet another 250 kind of a score, so that we have enough cushion for the bowlers to use. And Washi is also a good bowler. Of course, he is not in the pedigree of Varun Chakravarti or amongst the top spinners. But I'm just thinking to myself that Varun has been leaking away 40 runs every match before the English match, and in the English match he leaked 64 runs. What worse will Washington do? He wouldn't do any worse than that. So even if he bowls 4 overs, doesn't get a wicket, or gets 1 wicket and gives away 40-50 runs, that's exactly what Varun is doing, and he just might do the same. So I am of the strong opinion that we should drop Varun, get Washi, bat till number 9, and then go hell for leather with our batting. So this is my personal take. Further, continue the good fielding. That's another area that we should continue doing well. Of course, it was only Akshar Patel who made our fielding look good. The other players like Abhishek continued to drop catches, And we also have certain weak links, like Shivam Dubey is not the swiftest, Varun is not the swiftest. So that's another plus. If we get Washington Sundar in, the fielding improves dramatically, because Washi is an outstanding fielder just like Akshar. So I feel that the fielding should continue to be nice and good and strong. And Baki, we've got all the bases covered. So I'm just hoping and praying that Almighty helps with that slice of luck that everybody needs to succeed in life. And we will have our boys bringing the World Cup back and defeat the history. And we will literally have to defeat the history by not only winning the cup, but also defeat the history of losing at Narendra Modi Stadium in key matches. So that's two that we need to sort of defeat history on. And hopefully, yes, we will have a fantastic video after this. And hopefully, India would have won when I meet you guys next. Thank you for following. Thanks for those chat messages you keep sending at the end of the match or during the match. I think that's the very purpose why I had wanted to pursue this hobby over the weekend, so that I can get talking about my favorite sport, something that I'm very passionate about. And I think I'm able to achieve that I'm getting to talk to quite a few of you who I never thought. Somebody from Boston, one of my friends, messaged me that I loved your video, and he started talking over it, what will happen to India's prospects, etc. So I'm getting all sorts of nice messages from various people, and that of course was my intent. So I'm very happy to be reaching out to all of you and chatting up over our favorite sport, cricket and Team India. Yeah, so for now, bye bye, and hopefully win in Ahmedabad, and I'll see you there. Bye.